one of the biggest things I still struggle with, and I have struggled with, is the mindset behind right and wrong. And if you grew up with anxiety, or if you have an anxious attachment style, you're probably going to watch this video, and I believe that you probably already understand. And so one of the ways this currently and especially has manifested for me in my mind has been so I love to talk, and I hope you love to talk too, because it's a lot of fun. And a lot of the times when I talk, thankfully not always, or they're just fucking crazy, is I hear this, or it's like, it's almost so quick that it's two voices, but I know it's the same voice. It's just my mind's so hyperactive sometimes. I hear this or these voices that are like, say this way, perfect this by saying this way. It's just fucking crazy. And what's more beyond those voices is actions, behaviors, how I write sometimes. It shows up in journaling. It shows up in recording videos. It shows up in workouts, if I don't have structure. And so I wish someone had told me this so long ago. And this is the mindset of, instead of trying to do things right or wrong, do them how you enjoy them. Even if every fucking other person is doing it that way, and you would enjoy it this way, but the right way, the best way, the most successful way is to do it that way. I know you're probably comparing yourselves to them because you want their success, or you want to feel, you want to be, or you want to do whatever they're doing. Hopefully you don't want to be them. But I know comparing sometimes can be challenging, even if literally everyone, including me, is doing it that way. But you know in your heart you would enjoy doing it or being that person this way. Please do yourself a favor and be that person. There is no right and wrong. I could go on a fucking marathon about how we are taught as kids, as even fucking adults, reinforced as adults, the right and wrong. I mean, school literally teaches you, and especially in math, and usually, we're not going to get into it pretty much today, but maybe another video, the right and wrong. And our parents do a great job enforcing that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. Often we are not told in the real world is there's hardly ever a right or wrong way to do something. There's hardly ever a right or wrong way to feel your feelings. There's hardly ever a right or wrong way to believe in yourself, to go after your dreams. There's not usually, notice how I'm trying my best here not to use the word always, never. Frankly, because those are two very black and white words. So there is not usually one right way to do something. And for me, growing up within an anxious attachment style, I have really learned that when I'm suffering the most, when I am at my most anxious, experiencing those deepest states of anxiety, I am so caught up in the mindset of, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Is there something better I should be doing? Rather than just saying and asking myself, am I fucking enjoying this, dude? Like, am I actually having fun in this experience? Or am I so damn caught up in my head that I'm so focused on following the schedule, being rigid, or I mean, I'm not focused on being rigid, but you get the point here. Doing the right thing or not doing the wrong thing. That's another thought we can have sometimes as people with anxious attachment styles. Instead of, are we doing the right thing? Are we not making a mistake? Are we not doing the wrong thing? Are we not hurting their feelings? We think sometimes we're being present because we're thinking about the present, but we're not actually being present. Because in my opinion, you shouldn't have to think about the present in order to be present. It's a body feeling, not a mind thought about the present. To say you can't think here, it's just really, really different. So my advice to you today, God, so deeply in my heart, I wish, I mean, partially I don't, because I'm grateful to be the person I am. And at the same time, I wish I could go back to 21-year-old, 18-year-old Michael, 15-year-old Michael, and tell him this in the way I am. But for you, my deepest advice with the right or wrong mindset is to simply, actually I have a couple things. Number one, and there's no hierarchical order here. So whichever resonates with you, or if they all do, feel free to take them, apply them, and let go of the bullshit right or wrong. And as I said earlier, most of the time, there's not a right or wrong. Sometimes there actually is. Cool. So my first piece of advice is change the internal question you're asking yourself. Instead of, am I doing this right or am I not doing this wrong? Am I enjoying this? And genuinely make it a habit to ask yourself, like literally set alarms during your day. If you need to do this, no shame. I've done it before actually. Let's say like maybe like you set one for 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., noon, and say 10 a.m. Even earlier if you wake up earlier. Am I enjoying what I'm doing right now? Obviously, if you're not, change what you're doing or change how you feel about it or change your perspective. And if you are, great, keep doing it. So that's a piece of advice one, change the internal question. Pro tip, set an alarm so you get in the habit of asking yourself that question. And once you realize you're asking yourself that subconsciously, if you want to keep the alarms, keep them, but you probably don't need to. Step, or it's not really steps here. Piece of advice number 2. And oh my God, do I wish, I still don't apply this as much as I know I not should, but would be best for me here. I was thinking about this last night. If you were to go ask any successful person, what if you had to take everything away, what would be the one thing that you need to keep in order to become successful? They would tell you, you could take everything away, but as long as I'm surrounded by either successful people or people who are on their way to success, aka doing the best to become successful, I will be fine. Essentially, like the only thing you need to become successful is to be around other either successful people or people who are doing their best to do good, whatever that means for them. And so my second piece of advice, God, especially younger me here, would be surround yourself with people who are either more successful than you, or I'm not going to measure it here, people who are successful or people who are doing their best to become successful. And for us here, successful means right now, in the context of this video, enjoying life. Like, I think it should be obvious, but I'll say it anyways. For me, successful is not getting drunk every weekend, is not smoking weed to avoid your feelings, is not making mean jokes, is not fucking toxic masculinity. We could go on and on about this. Is not like subtly numbing ourselves out to our feelings. And then the third piece of advice would be to experiment, to test it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, who am I to tell you anything besides just a signpost to where, to who you desire to be? I could tell you everything in the world, and likewise, we could all share everything in the world. But if no one does anything about it, what good is that? Right? So you gotta, I mean, you don't need to, but I strongly encourage you to apply something. Whether it's something you've learned in this video, or actually, kind of a backdoor way, you unapply something that has not worked for you in the past. So my advice, probably last piece of advice here, be you unapply asking yourself the question, maybe not always, but at least some of the time, am I doing this right or am I not doing this wrong? And if you want to, you apply, am I enjoying this? Did I enjoy this? Will I enjoy that? I really loved making this video, so I'm grateful for you. If you made it all the way through, feel free to comment enjoy or relentless renegade. I love them both. Also, there's not necessarily any right or wrong in this universe. I'm still figuring out if there is such a thing as right or wrong. But that will be all for this video today, my friends. As I said earlier, I really enjoyed making this, so I'm really grateful for you. You helped give me the motivation and the purpose to make these videos, so thank you for that. As always, I appreciate you. I'm here with you. I definitely fucking believe in you. I love you, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.